I'm alive! Oh, hi. What am I doing? I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, how can I help you? Oh, you're starting a home bar. Okay, well, that just opened a can of worms there. Let me wrap my head around this. Give me one moment here.
Oh, hey, you looking to score? Iron Man, I got anything you need. You want to get your strain on? We can strain all night, baby. After that, what we'll do? Shake it up, shake like the wind. You want a deep dive? How deep you want to go? I got two sizes. The jigger. For all you freaks out there, we can get a peel on. My signature move. The Swiss.
Whoa, hey, come on, get out of here. I'm trying to make a living. Jeez. Man, you can't sell your wares here. Get on your own, get out. Jeez, I'm so sorry about that, guys. I don't know, some people. All right, well, I hope he didn't scare you too much, but I guess he had some bar tools to pawn off to us. Well, let me tell you this here. You really don't need to put your investment right now on bar tools. Well, because you're just starting off. A lot of the things that he has, you can actually modify at home instead of purchasing your bar tools. Like for that shaker that he had, just a plain mason jar with the lid on could be a perfect shaker right here. And of course, I know he probably talked about his little jigger, right? But if you have a Pyrex measuring glass or cup, or your teaspoons measuring spoons for baking, or even a simple shot glass, you could make your cocktails to begin with. And that, whatever that swizzle stick was, chopstick, all right? Stir all your cocktails that way. And that strainer, well, rummage around the house. Sure, you have a little mini colander strainer. Mesh strainer works best. And that's that. Peeler, ask your parents, I don't know. But ultimately, you don't need to spend money on bar tools. Well, not yet anyways, because ultimately the investment comes in the spirit side of things. Your, whiskeys, your rums, your liqueurs. And let me put it this way. If you're interested in making Prohibition era cocktails, first you'll need a bottle of whiskey, namely rye. Then you'll need a bottle of gin. Let's be sparing and just do a bottle of rum. Don't forget your brandies and your modifiers, your amaros, your orange liqueurs, your chartreuses, your bitters, and don't forget your sweet vermouths and dry vermouths as well. And all in all, that's a pretty hefty size bar there, and it costs quite a bit. So tone it down a little bit. Go with your regular home bar tools already that you have. Now, I'll talk about two suggestions that I'll give you to actually start your home bar. Put your investments in the accents and modifiers, as well as the non-alcoholic mixers, and just pick one base spirit. Now, a base spirit would be let's say, a bourbon, right? Now, let me go with this, all right? If you are utilizing the 2-ounce specs of the cocktail making process, a 750 milliliter bottle of a base spirit would produce about 12 cocktails. Now, when you invest in a few bottles of the modifiers, say a sweet vermouth and amaro, or the maraschino luxardo cherry liqueur, you're utilizing about 1 ounce or less into your cocktail recipe, and that could double the amount of the cocktails that you'll make utilizing that ingredient. Let's say a 1/4 ounce pour of the luxardo maraschino liqueur to a improved whiskey cocktail it'll actually last you about 100 different cocktails there. So if you pick the modifiers to invest in, say a sweet vermouth, a dry vermouth, Angostura bitters, Amaro, Campari maybe, you'll actually already have a sizable bar come your next base spirit, say a gin. And the other investments would be the non-alcoholic mixers, Fever Tree tonic water. I'd say invest in fresh produce, lemon, lime, oranges. You could definitely bring in the mint and herbs, and of course the syrups as well. I'd say my spec for a simple syrup would be 2 parts sugar and 1 part water, and put it in a saucepan and let it melt. And there you have a recipe for your simple syrup and majority of cocktails there as well. And of course, with those modifiers, if you actually just buy those 5 bottles to begin with, well, the base spirit, I'd say a bourbon, medium, mid-level, I'd say something like an Elijah Craig or Larceny would do really well. All right, I actually have it here. I'll put out the Dolan sweet vermouth and a dry vermouth here. Can't have a cocktail without the Angostura. Let's throw in some more modifiers. Let's say an Amaro and the Campari. And with just these bottles, you can actually make a slew of cocktails. Actually, with whiskey. There's actually somebody even better at explaining some of the cocktails that you could actually make with this. Hey, David. Hey, can you come here?
Whatever, dude.
Come on. The audience love you.
I'm busy.
How does $20 sound?
I'm not a day shifter. Make it a hundo. All right, now, with these bottles, since I've earned my triple-digit paycheck, hundo. For bourbon, I recommend our barrel selection of Larceny. And we're looking at a series of bourbon cocktails, the Manhattan, the Old Fashioned, the Boulevardier. For you egg fans, the Whiskey Sour. If we want to go to the Dirty South, the Atlanta International, the Italian Coke. And finishing with a cocktail named after me, the Bastardo. Now, you know, we've kind of wet our palates with the Larceny. Bourbon is kind of what really led me down the dark path, but once I was ready to burn, baby burn, I jumped in the ring of fire, moved on to gin with the Sipsmith. And now we're dealing with martinis, Negronis, jumping down the egg camp, the Whiskey Sour. We have the American Highball, Tom Collins, and finish with my personal favorite, the Gin and Pink.
That costed a lot. Should have done it myself. Anyways, now you can see there's plenty of cocktails you could actually make with just 5 modifiers in your repertoire with a base spirit. And it'll be an easy transition when you jump from base spirit to base spirit. And ultimately, because you only use a little bit at a time for these modifiers, guess what? You'll already have your makings of your home bar. Now, I'll finish up with a little bit. I know you could get a lot of recipes online nowadays, but a good book never hurt anybody, and I'll recommend 3. One is How to Cocktail from the American Test Kitchen. Pretty basic items, simple ingredients and everything else too, but good rule follower instructions in that book as well. Now, if you're jumping into the Prohibition era cocktails, I would highly, highly recommend Harry Craddock's The Savoy Cocktail Book. Now, man, there's some really great items in here. All right, so check that out. And for you tiki interested folks, I would highly recommend Martin Kate, Smuggler's Cove. Great book on tiki, and just the information about rum itself is actually worth the book itself. Now, I hope you had some good suggestions here, especially in starting your home bar, good modifiers, and of course, cocktails. Definitely all the things that are featured here, I'll put down in the descriptions below for you to check out. And of course, the books, I'll link some following links to those as well as some bar tools for your future purchases. Again, don't forget to subscribe for future content and make sure you hit that like button. Cheers.